Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to a brand new series. It is Transfer Portal Update 1.0, where I give you guys updates on who's headed to the portal, where they're potentially going. We saw the generational five-star Quinn Ewers announced yesterday. He's headed to the portal. He's got 3 top suitors right now in Texas Tech, Texas A&M, and the University of Texas, likely staying home in that state, or going back to that state, transferring from Ohio State as a true freshman. You know, the transfer portal is so important when it comes to recruiting now. It's crazy. Let's get right into it. So this is the site that I use. It's 247 Sports. It's probably the best site when you're looking at, the transfer portal. It has all of the latest status updates. So there it is right there. Quinn Ewers sporting his perfect 1,000 overall rating, transferring from Ohio State. Right, again, like I said, looking like he's going back to a Texas school, potentially Texas A&M, or Texas Tech. I know Texas A&M has a 5-star in their 2022 class, so maybe they don't make as much sense, but obviously you're probably not starting a true freshman, so Ewers would start over him. I believe Ewers is going to be a redshirt freshman, and this is why I don't understand why they have the eligibility. All of it, I believe all of it is going to be immediate eligibility. I don't know any sort of, quarterbacks, people that are going to be sitting a year, but just looking, we've got Clemson's backup quarterback, who was formerly a 4-star transferring, although he didn't play very much. I saw Frank Latson, who was a near 5-star in college, is transferring as well from Clemson. I don't think he played much either, was injured. Bray Walker transferring from Oklahoma. They've got a lot of transfers in wake of the Lincoln Riley saga. This safety was pretty good. I believe he's from Michigan, transferring from Michigan State. Not sure the reason there. That's a tough loss for them. But as you guys can see, just the overall updates. Adrian Martinez transferring from Nebraska. Nebraska fans, goodness gracious, this kid still has eligibility. It's crazy. I guess he's using the year last year as a free year, so he will be going into his 5th year, transferring to a different school. Probably best for both parties. I think it's been long enough for Nebraska and their fan base to have Adrian Martinez as the starting quarterback. I just kind of go through this list, see if I can see anyone. You can also go by position, which is very nice to kind of sort it out. You can see the quarterbacks. We know Spencer Rattler into the portal. Looks like he's 100% crystal balled to UCLA. So Spencer Rattler with Chip Kelly would be interesting. Imagine an Oklahoma fan. People were talking about this on Twitter. An Oklahoma fan watching USC versus UCLA with Spencer Rattler at UCLA and Lincoln Riley at USC. That'd be crazy. Dillon Gabriel, phenomenal player. Phenomenal. Coming off that injury, 100% crystal ball to Ole Miss. So it looks like he's trending to Ole Miss. That'd be interesting. I would like to see Dillon Gabriel go to Penn State for a year. They need a stopgap quarterback. They are getting a 5-star QB. Looking at some of the other quarterbacks, Miles Brennan. I remember Miles Brennan was a 4-star, I believe, but his transfer portal ranking is only a 3-star. Zach Gibson. Zach Gibson from Akron. He actually played decent when he was in there. Harrison Bailey, a former 4-star. Now it looks like he's been shot down to a 3-star with his new ranking after what he proved at Tennessee, which was not much. Georgia Tech, the favorite there for Harrison Bailey. He is from Georgia. Jack Miller, the former Buckeye. Wow. His ranking got crushed too. I thought he played decent when he was in there at Ohio State. He is transferring. He's from Arizona. You'd look for maybe Arizona State to look at a guy like Jack Miller. The top running back, Gibbs. This kid was a beast in high school. You got to feel bad for Georgia Tech fans. That was such a big get for them, and his top 2 are Ohio State and Alabama, but Ohio State does not make a lot of sense. They have Trevion Henderson, who is currently going to be only a true sophomore next year, as well as Evan Pryor, who I believe is going to be a redshirt freshman. He was a top 100 player, didn't play a lot, but that is interesting. Zach Evans is a really interesting story. Took him forever to make his college choice. Georgia, I think they turned him down. I don't know. He ended up going to TCU. Gary Patterson is gone, so he's looking to transfer. He's originally from Georgia. At one point, Zach Evans was the number 1 player in the nation. That's interesting. This is a big get. See, you can see this kid's already committed from Wisconsin. Mel Tucker does it again with another running back. I don't know Kenneth Walker's situation exactly. Is Kenneth Walker still going to be back next year for Michigan State, or is he going to the NFL draft? I don't know his eligibility. This Dixon kid is interesting from Clemson. He is actually already committed to West Virginia, so West Virginia picks him up. I remember Clemson fans being pretty high on him. Looking at the receivers, Hazelwood. This kid was ranked like 4th overall in, I believe, the 2019 or 2020 class. His transfer portal ranking is all the way shot down to only a 4-star 92, and he is being crystal balled to Arkansas. So he is part of that max exodus from Oklahoma. Pittman, who was a pretty high 4-star, I believe, he's only a 3-star. He is transferring from Oregon. Trying to see if I can remember any of these other guys. Joshua Moore. I like Joshua Moore. He's transferring from Texas. He had an issue with Steve Sarkisian or something. I'm surprised he's only rated a 3-star. Mark Pope, I remember him from Miami. He was a pretty highly rated kid. He's transferring as well. This kid already committed to BYU. There were some Ohio State fans. This kid was a former 5-star who went to Oregon, but I don't know if he only played 1 year or if he was a true freshman or something. He wasn't getting playing time. He transfers to BYU. What an absolute steal for BYU there. This quick offensive tackle from Alabama was so overrated in high school. I remember seeing him. He's being crystal balled to Georgia Tech. There's really not a lot of good offensive linemen on the market at this point. There is a rumor. I'm not going to get into that rumor because... Marcus Bradley, an old friend. I remember Ohio State was recruiting him at one point. The defensive line, if you're looking for an edge rusher right now, and this is just my 1.0 update, there's not a lot of players here. There's not a lot of talent. It looks like just 3-star type talent. Looks like a kid committed to Marshall, so good for him, but not a lot of talent there. Linebackers, so Terrence Lewis was actually a 5-star linebacker. I believe he tore his ACL and didn't play much for Maryland. Surprising the kid committed to Maryland, but his ranking has already been shot down to a 3-star. This is his updated transfer portal ranking. I guess due to the ACL, they're concerned about how he's going to come back from that. But Ohio State fans have been talking about potentially getting this kid, although it seemed like Ohio State passed, and a lot of other teams passed on him. When you're a 5-star and you commit to Maryland, it's either because you're from Maryland or a lot of other teams are passing on you for off-the-field stuff or something like that. I don't want to spread rumors, but that's honestly what happened with that kid. Any other linebackers, not looking like a lot of linebackers. Eli Ricks is probably... After Quinn Ewers, probably the second best player right now in terms of it going into the transfer portal. He is, as a transfer, still rated as a 5-star, transferring out of LSU. There's been some rumors about Alabama. There's been some rumors about Ohio State, possibly Eli Ricks and Denzel Burke next year for the Buckeyes. This kid is going to be a one-and-done, meaning he's going to have the eligibility to go to the draft, probably going to be a first-round pick. He's going to go to a school next year, probably a big-name school, play 1 year, and then go to the NFL, so he will be a one-and-done. Marcus Banks from Alabama, not familiar with him, but he's also a 4-star rated in terms of transfer portal. We'll have to look to see where he goes. Not really anyone else there. Looking at the special teams players, just like kickers, athletes, not really anyone highly rated. This was this kid's high school ranking. By the way, they haven't given Quinn Ewers a transfer portal ranking, so that's why he's not showing up here. But I'm guessing his transfer portal ranking is going to be 1,000. I'm going to be honest with you, because if you look back, I believe it was 2020 when Justin Fields transferred. Or was it 2019? No, it had to have been, my bad. It was 2019. I don't know what I'm thinking. When Justin Fields transferred, you can take a look, and his transfer portal ranking was 1,000. And Justin Fields and Quinn Ewers are in very similar situations where Justin Fields didn't play much as a true freshman, saw that Fromm was going to be the starter next year, wanted to start immediately. And you guys remember the outrage with people that hated Ohio State about Justin Fields getting immediate eligibility, when it's like everyone knows it's a thing that's going to happen now. But like everyone's like, oh, he shouldn't get immediate eligibility. It's just funny to think about that when everyone else was getting it. But, oh, Sean Robinson didn't get it. Some of these kids had to sit a year back in 2019 before the rule got changed. But yeah, so Justin Fields, you can see his transfer portal ranking was 1,000. This year, Quinn Ewers, they don't have a transfer portal ranking for him, just his overall. If this would load, see, this is what ends up happening to me. It doesn't load. You can see his high school rank is 1,000, and he's probably going back to Texas. Let me just click on Quinn Ewers if it'll load. They still have him at Ohio State, I believe, on here. On his profile. I'm not exactly sure. Dude, I swear this thing. Like, how do I pay 1,000? So they have him compared to Phillip Rivers. That's kind of weird, but you can see this was him as a prospect, 1,000 overall rating, number one, committed to Ohio State, and then reclassified to 2021. So it'll be interesting to see where Quinn Ewers goes. I will continue to update you guys on the transfer portal. You're looking at the two biggest names, Quinn Ewers, obviously, and then Eli Ricks, the cornerback transferring from LSU at this point. Those are the two biggest names in the transfer portal. We haven't even reached bowl season yet. The bowl game. So there's going to be a lot of kids. The transfer portal is going to get even more hot. But I thought this would be a good starting point because there's going to be nobody more important in the transfer portal than Quinn Ewers, who is the number 2 rated quarterback in recruiting history, folks. Recruiting history. Gone from Ohio State, doesn't like Ryan Day. He's back into Texas. We'll have to see where he goes, guys. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.